Today we are introducing Debbie Valois.
I started teaching in my 20s, but I first taught group exercise. So back when aerobics and step and all that was really big. But then I started injuring myself. I overworked a lot. It was always about the go, go, go. Then I started taking some yoga classes, really just to try to stretch a little bit more because I was not very good about stretching on my own. And then not too long after that, I moved to Texas with my now husband in Dallas. And it's kind of a yoga mecca. So I was lucky enough to get to train with a lot of very good local teachers, but then also a lot of, famous teachers like Shiva Ray and Sean Korn. There, I kind of turned into just doing yoga. So when I came back to Rhode Island, I just stuck with that over the years. It served my body well because I was able to find the balance between still doing the strength work, still challenging myself, but at the same time, being able to be more grounded. Kind of a natural transition for me to start teaching it. It wasn't necessarily my intention to teach it when I started. I've now been teaching for about 19 years of yoga.
So you've been teaching for a long time.
It's more or less vinyasa, which the vinyasa is just yoga poses that are connected with breath. And so the way I like to teach any classes really, is so it's all levels. Like it can be more challenging, like playing towards handstand, but more just, little pops up and down. And then I'll always give options so you don't have to do anything scary or uncomfortable. I like to make it accessible to anybody who happens to show up because I don't think there's anything worse than being nervous about going to do something new and then you get there and you can't do anything the teacher's saying. So I like to try to give lots of variations so they feel comfortable. The hands-on assist was always one of my favorite parts of teaching. So I also demo too. Okay. If I see something that seems like it is more of a safety issue, I'll certainly go over and talk to that person just to make sure that they're going to be okay. Usually it's simple enough that there's so many variations. And especially if it is someone new, I try not to call them out. I'll say something to the whole group. So then that way it's not making them feel like they feel funny.
Now you have a question on here, so I'm just going to say it like it sounds.
Okay.
How many tattoos do you have and what's with the hair?
I know, you can't see my hair. Well, the other thing I did yesterday, but you know what I did yesterday? You're going to love this because you'll understand. I found banana clips at CVS. I'm bringing the 80s back, baby. I have technically 13 tattoos to all the kids out there. I didn't get any tattoos until I was 32 and I still got in trouble. That's because she had pink in her hair. So I have pink and purple now, but now I've become known as the teacher with the pink hair or the pink and purple hair or the funky hair. So I'm honestly afraid if I don't have it, no one will know who I am anymore.
Is there anything surprising about you that you want to share?
As they called back in the 80s, I was kind of a stoner and I was into hair bands and heavy metal and had the scary posters in my walls in my room. And I used to actually smoke cigarettes very heavily. And then it was actually when I quit smoking in my 20s that I started doing aerobics and getting healthy. I failed gym a couple times and really for no other reason that I didn't want to sweat.
So we all have a story.
Yeah. About 6 years ago, I took my niece to Aerial Extreme. It's a studio where they train you in the fabric silk. Honestly, I did it just for fun. I performed a few times at different events that we've had, but really I did it more just because it was fun to spin around and play around and act like a little kid.
And what is your favorite part about yoga?
It's changed over the years. Right now, community, just like, getting all the people together and the camaraderie we've had during COVID. When I first started doing it, it was definitely about the physical. It was about how could I challenge myself and doing all the funky, crazy arm balances. Then when I started doing more training with Shiva Ray and locally with Coral Brown, it got more into the philosophical end and more the history and the stories behind why you're doing what you're doing. And then I've had on and off relationship over the years with anorexia and bulimia. And in my 40s, I had another relapse. It's a program that's intended for how to have better reflection on your own body image. Also making the connection of we all kind of do it in different levels, and not necessarily just about the physicality. Sometimes it's about, am I smart enough? Is my job good enough? Is my relationship good enough? And just kind of working with all of that. And then recently in October, I rolled over my kneecap and I dislocated it. And so when I did that, it tore one of my random tiny ligaments. It's barely on a chart, but I tore it. And so I had to do a lot of PT, but it also made me aware in my practice where my flexibility was actually hurting me. Even though I didn't think I was sinking into my flexibility, I was. Now I've been trying to teach in a way where you're using more muscle engagement, not just trying to get super low into a pose. People always say that I'm not flexible enough to do yoga, and not realizing that that can actually be the harder part if you're too flexible.
Yeah.
Now I'm just trying to combine all of it, put it all together so whatever people want when they come to the mat, they'll get. And whether it's just the community part and just want to sit there and be surrounded by some people, because I think that's the part that I'm so grateful with you starting this program, because that's the part that's really feeding people. I think honestly, I could probably say anything. They're just happy to be there and have other people on their mats around them. So thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. We're very happy to have you. Is there anything you want to add?
Just that the point is absolutely a beautiful spot to do yoga. I mean, at least so far that I've been there, there's always a breeze. Bring some sunscreen, but I always have some with me just in case you need it. I'll share.
We're so happy to have you here. So thank you.
So much.
Go check out Debbie's class, you guys.